Be me, 26, women's studies grad student. Spend half my life arguing about the patriarchy online. The other half organizing campus protests about gender inequality. Have this whole framework in my head about how society works. Men hold all the power. Women bear all the burden. It's simple, it's clear, it's backed by data. Or so I thought. My best friend since high school is this guy named Chris. 28, works in construction management. Not the type you'd expect me to be friends with. He's the guy who shows up at 6 a.m. to help you move. Fixes your car without asking for gas money. Remembers everyone's birthday. Type of dude who buys rounds for the whole table, even when he's broke. We met in debate club junior year. He argued the con side of some feminism topic. I tore him apart intellectually. After class, he came up and said, "That was brilliant. You destroyed me." No ego, just genuine respect. We've been close ever since. But there's always been this tension. My activist friends don't get why I hang out with him. He's one of the good ones, I'd say. There are no good ones, they'd reply. Chris never complained, though. Never got defensive when I went on rants about toxic masculinity. Just listened, asked questions, tried to understand. Looking back, I should have wondered why he was so quiet. Why he never pushed back anymore like he did in high school. 3 years ago, I started noticing changes. Chris wasn't texting as much. Used to send me random memes at 2 a.m. Suddenly it's been days between messages. When we did hang out, he seemed off. Still cracking jokes, still helping everyone. But something behind his eyes was different. Dimmer. I asked him once, "You good?" "Yeah, just work stuff." Long hours. Seemed reasonable. Construction boom in the city. Everyone's busy. Didn't think more of it. Around that time, my social circle started getting really intense about men. Every group chat was about another story. Guy who ghosted someone. Guy who cheated. Guy who was emotionally unavailable. We dissect male behavior like anthropologists studying a hostile species. One night, someone posted an article. Male loneliness epidemic, the new crisis. My friend Vanessa scoffed. "Oh, please. Men are lonely because they refuse to do emotional work. They want women to be their therapists for free." Everyone agreed. I typed, right? They have each other, but won't be vulnerable. That's on them, not us. Likes flooded in. Felt good to have my views validated. Chris texted me that night. "You ever feel like you're just taking up space?" Weird question. Type back, sometimes. What? Just thinking. Never mind. Everything okay? Yeah. Long day. Talk tomorrow. Didn't talk tomorrow. Took him 4 days to respond to my next message. Around this time, I started doing a research project, analyzing how men weaponize vulnerability to manipulate women. My thesis, male emotional expression is often a form of control. When men say they're struggling, they're really just centering themselves, taking attention away from women's real oppression. It made sense on paper. Had statistics, interviews, theoretical frameworks. My advisor loved it. "This is groundbreaking work." Presented it at a campus symposium. Got a standing ovation. Posted about it online. Went semi-viral in academic circles. Chris saw it. Texted, "Interesting presentation." Just those 2 words. Felt cold somehow. "You don't agree?" I asked. "I didn't say that. But you're thinking it." Long pause. Those 3 dots appearing and disappearing. Finally, "I think it's more complicated than that." "How so?" Another long pause. "Never mind. It's your research. You're the expert." That stung a little. Not because he disagreed, but because he wouldn't engage. The Chris I knew would have debated me for hours. This Chris just gave up. A few months later, group hangout at a bar. Whole crew there. Me, Vanessa, our friend Tyler, a couple others. Chris shows up late, looks exhausted. Sits at the end of the table, quiet. Vanessa's telling a story about her nightmare date. Guy who talked about himself the whole time. We're all laughing, adding our own horror stories. Then Tyler says something that changes the night. "Honestly, I don't even try anymore." We all look at him. "Try what?" "Dating. Meeting women. All of it." Vanessa rolls her eyes. "Oh, here we go, male victimhood." Tyler doesn't take the bait. "I'm just tired of feeling like a potential threat all the time." Like every interaction is an audition I'm going to fail. I jump in. Maybe that's because women have legitimate reasons to be cautious. I didn't say they don't, he replies carefully. I just said it's exhausting. Vanessa leans forward. You know what's exhausting? Being afraid to walk home at night. Having to constantly monitor men's egos so they don't explode. The table goes quiet. I notice Chris staring at his beer. Haven't seen him take a sip in 20 minutes. What do you think, Chris? Vanessa asks. Not kindly, challengingly. He looks up, forces a smile. I think everyone's tired. That's it? That's all you've got? She's goading him. He knows it, we all know it. He stands up. I'm gonna head out. Early morning tomorrow. Chris, come on, I say. We're just talking. I know. I'm just tired. That word again. Tired. He leaves $40 on the table, way more than his share. Walks out. Vanessa shakes her head. See? Can't handle a real conversation. Everyone nods. Even me. I tell myself Chris is just sensitive. Probably having a rough week. Text him the next day. Sorry if last night was intense. Takes him 6 hours to respond. It's fine. That's when I should have known. Chris never said, it's fine, unless it absolutely wasn't. But I was busy. Had my research, my activism, my own life. Couldn't be responsible for managing everyone's feelings. Especially men's feelings. That's what I told myself. 2 weeks pass, barely hear from him. Then he texts. Can we meet up? Need to talk to you about something. My stomach drops a little. Don't know why. Sure, coffee tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow's good. Show up to the cafe. He's already there. Looks like he hasn't slept in days. Sits down across from him. What's going on? He laughs, but it's hollow. Where do I even start? Start anywhere. Takes a deep breath. I've been seeing a therapist. That surprises me. That's good, right? That's healthy. Yeah, it is. She's helping me realize some stuff. Like what? Another pause, like he's weighing every word. Like how I've been feeling for a while now. Feeling what? Empty. Invisible. Like I'm just this tool people use and then put away. Try to hide my reaction. But internally I'm thinking, here we go, the male victimhood thing. Must show on my face because he stops. Never mind. No, im listing. Keep going. He shakes his head. I can see it in your face. You think I'm being dramatic. I didn't say that. You didn't have to. Awkward silence. Chris, I care about you. Talk to me. He meets my eyes. Do you care about me? Of course I do. But do you care about the version of me that helps you move and fixes your sink and listens to your problems? Feel defensive rising. That's not fair. Isn't it though? When's the last time you asked how I was doing? I ask all the time. You ask, you good? And I say, yeah. And that's the end of it. Because you always say yes. Because saying anything else makes me weak. Makes me a burden. Makes me like every other man whining about his feelings. He's not yelling. His voice is steady, but there's this pain underneath. I don't think that. I say quietly. Your thesis says otherwise. Oh, you read it? Of course I read it. It's your work. That's not about you. Isn't it though? Men weaponize vulnerability. Male emotional expression is manipulation. That's what you wrote. In an academic context, analyzing patterns. So if I tell you I'm struggling, I'm just manipulating you? That's not what I meant. Then what did you mean? Don't have a good answer. Sit there in silence. I'm sorry, I finally say. For what? For making you feel like you can't talk to me. He softens a little. It's not just you. It's everyone. My whole life, I've been the strong one, the funny one, the reliable 1-inch. And now, I don't know how to be anything else without feeling like I'm failing. You're not failing. Then why does it feel like I am? Reach across the table. Take his hand. What do you need? How can I help? He pulls his hand back, gently. I need space. I need to figure out who I am when I'm not performing for everyone. Okay, and I need you to examine why you're so resistant to seeing men as anything other than oppressors. That hits hard. I don't think all men are oppressors. Don't you, though? Chris, there's a system. I know there's a system. I'm not denying that. But I'm a person, too. We all are. Systems are made of people. And people deserve compassion regardless of their gender. Want to argue. Want to cite my research, my data, my framework. But looking at my best friend sitting across from me exhausted and hurting. Realize my framework doesn't have room for him. We finish coffee in uncomfortable silence. Part ways with a hug that feels wrong. Stiff and formal. Next few weeks, I'm doing mental gymnastics. Trying to reconcile my beliefs with what Chris said. Talk to Vanessa about it. He's guilt-tripping you, she says immediately. Making his problems your responsibility. Classic male manipulation. But is it? Or is he just asking to be seen? Start noticing things I dismissed before. Tyler's comment about being tired. Chris's weird texts over the years. Other guy friends who'd gone quiet in our social circle. One by one, they just faded away. Chalked it up to them being flaky. But what if they just got tired of being the villain? Decide to do something radical. Actually listen. Reach out to Tyler. Coffee? Want to talk about that night at the bar? He's surprised, but agrees. We meet up. I ask him to explain what he meant. And this time, I shut up and listen. He talks for an hour. About feeling disposable in dating. About being told his feelings don't matter because of his gender. About watching his dad work himself to death without anyone asking if he was okay. About his own depression that he hid for years because men don't get depressed. Do you know what it's like, he asks? To be in a room full of people discussing how your gender is the root of all evil. And you can't say anything because you'll be told you're derailing or centering yourself? Don't have an answer. I'm not saying women don't have it worse, he continues. But can't we both be struggling? Can't I hurt without it being an attack on feminism? Something cracks in my chest. I'm sorry, I say, and mean it this time. Start doing my own research. Not for a thesis, just for understanding. Male suicide rates, 3 to 4 times higher than women. Homelessness, 70% men. Workplace deaths, 93% men. Child custody, heavily favors mothers. Educational attainment, boys falling behind at every level. These stats were always available. I just never looked because they didn't fit my narrative. The narrative that men have all the power. And sure, at the top they do. CEOs, politicians, billionaires. But what about the men at the bottom? The ones breaking their backs in construction. The ones who haven't been touched with affection in years. The ones who are expected to be strong until they shatter. They're not oppressing anyone. They're just trying to survive. Realize I've been so focused on dismantling the patriarchy that I couldn't see the men crushed under it too. Try to reach out to Chris. Multiple texts, calls. Nothing. His roommate finally answers. He's not doing great. Can I see him? He said he needs time. Respect it, but worry constantly. 3 months of silence. Then one night, 2 a.m., my phone buzzes. Message from Chris. Long one. Heart races as I read it. I've been thinking a lot about our last conversation. About my whole life, really. And I realized something. I've spent 28 years being whoever everyone needed me to be. The strong friend, the reliable guy, the one who doesn't complain. And it's killing me. Not dramatically, not all at once, but slowly. Like erosion. I'm tired of being invisible except when someone needs something. Tired of having my pain dismissed because statistically, my gender has it better. Tired of smiling through it because that's what's expected. You asked how you can help. You can help by listening when men say they're hurting. Really listening, not just waiting to explain why they're wrong. You can help by seeing us as individuals, not as representatives of a system. You can help by understanding that the patriarchy hurts everyone, including the men who never wanted power in the first place. I don't know if we can be friends again. I hope we can. But I need you to see me first. Actually see me. Not the version that fits your theory. Sit there crying in the dark, reading and rereading. He's right. About all of it. Type back. I see you. I'm sorry it took me so long. Can we talk? 3 dots appear. Disappear. Appear again. Tomorrow. But this time, I need you to really hear me. I will. I promise. Meet the next day, different cafe. This time he looks better. Still tired, but more present. Sit down, and before he can speak, I start. I was wrong. He blinks. About a lot of things. Not about feminism. Not about women's struggles being real. But about dismissing yours. I made you a representative of every bad thing men have done instead of seeing you as Chris. And I'm sorry. He's quiet for a moment. Thank you. I want to understand. Really understand. Will you help me? Understand what? What it's like. Being a man who's struggling in a world that tells you you're not allowed to. He leans back, considers. Okay, but you have to promise not to defend or explain or contextualize. Just listen. I promise. And he talks. For 2 hours. Tells me about the pressure to be stoic. About being mocked when he cried in 8th grade and never doing it publicly again. About his dad who worked 60-hour weeks and died of a heart attack at 52. And everyone said he was a hard worker, a provider. No one said he was a victim of a system that told him his worth was his paycheck. Tells me about dating. Do you know what it's like to be treated as guilty until proven innocent? To have women cross the street when they see you? To know that your desire for connection is seen as predatory by default? Tells me about friendships. Men don't talk about feelings isn't because they don't want to. It's because we're punished when we do. Called weak, told to man up, or worse, told we're manipulating you. Tells me about work. I've destroyed my body for this job. My knees are shot, my back's a wreck. And people say I have male privilege because I make more than women in other fields. But they don't want to do what I do. They don't want to risk their life on a construction site. Every word lands like a hammer. Not because it's dismissing women's struggles, but because I never made room for both to be true. When he's done, we sit in silence. I didn't know, I finally say. I should have, but I didn't. Because you weren't looking. I'm looking now. He smiles, small but real. That's all I wanted. We start rebuilding our friendship. But this time it's different. More honest. I stop performing my activism around him. He stops performing his strength around me. One day, he texts me an article about male suicide rates. I read it fully this time. Don't dismiss it. Don't counter with women's depression statistics. Just sit with the horror of it. Text back. This is devastating. I know. What can I do? Just acknowledge it. That's more than most people do. Start having hard conversations with my activist friends. Vanessa especially. I think we need to make room for men's struggles too. I say carefully. She looks at me like I've betrayed the cause. Are you serious right now? Yes. After everything women go through, you want to center men? Not center. Include. It's the same thing. Is it though? She scoffs. This is about Chris, isn't it? It's about recognizing that suffering isn't a competition. Easy for you to say when you're not the one being oppressed. But that's just it. Some men are being oppressed by the same system that oppresses us. They're oppressed by other men, not by women. Does it matter who's doing it if the result is the same? We go in circles. Eventually agree to disagree. But she starts posting passive-aggressive things online about feminists who betray the movement for male approval. No, they're about me. Hurts, but I stand by what I learned. Months pass. Chris is doing better, actually seeing a therapist regularly, starting to build healthier boundaries. One night we're hanging out, watching a movie. He turns to me during a slow part. I want to tell you something. Okay, that night at the bar, when Vanessa was going off, I was planning to end it. My blood goes cold. End what? My life. Hear my own heartbeat. I've been planning it for weeks. Had everything ready. Chris, let me finish. I was going to do it that night after I left. But then you texted. That apology, even though it was small, it was enough to make me wait one more day. And then one more. And then I found my therapist. Tears streaming down my face now. I almost lost you. Yeah, and I would have never known why. Probably not. Would you have left a note? He's quiet. Yeah, but I don't think anyone would have understood it. What would it have said? That I was tired. That's all. Just tired. Pull him into a hug. Both of us crying now. I'm sorry, I whisper. I know. If I had lost you, I don't know what I would have done. But you didn't. I'm here. We sit like that for a while. When we pull apart, wipe my face. I'm writing a new thesis, I tell him. Yeah. About the cost of gender roles on everyone. How the same system that oppresses women also destroys men. How we need to fight it together, not against each other. He smiles. Your advisor going to approve that? Probably not. But I don't care. Some things are more important than approval. He nods. Can I read it when you're done? You'll be the first. Present my new research 6 months later. Half the room walks out, get accused of being a men's rights activist, get called a traitor to feminism. My advisor is disappointed. But Tyler shows up. Chris shows up. Even some guys I'd never met show up. They thank me afterward. Not for solving anything, just for seeing them, for acknowledging their pain without dismissing it. You don't know what it means, one guy says, to have someone actually listen. And I think about Chris, about how close I came to losing him, because I was too busy with my theories to see the human in front of me. That night, Chris and I get dinner. I'm proud of you, he says. For what? For being willing to be wrong. Not a lot of people can do that. I was very wrong. You were trying to make the world better. Just had the wrong map. What's the right map? He thinks. I don't know if there's one. Maybe we just have to see each other as people first. Before gender, before politics, before all of it. Just people trying not to hurt too much. Raise my glass. To seeing people. He clinks his glass against mine. To being seen. We drink. And for the first time in years, it feels like we're actually on the same side. Be me 1 year later. Still a feminist. Still fighting for women's rights. But also fighting for Chris's right to cry. For Tyler's right to feel disposable without being told he's centering himself. For every man who's been told his pain doesn't count. Lost some friends over it. Vanessa doesn't talk to me anymore. Half my activist circle thinks I've been radicalized. But I also gained something. A fuller picture of the world. One where systems hurt everyone. Just in different ways. Chris is doing well now. Dating someone who actually sees him. Still struggles sometimes. But he texts me when it gets bad. And I listen. Actually listen. Don't try to fix or explain. Just acknowledge that it's hard. Sometimes that's enough. My thesis got published in a smaller journal. Not the prestigious one I wanted. But it reached people who needed it. Get emails sometimes from men saying thank you. From women saying, this helped me understand my son/brother/friend. That matters more than prestige. Saw a statistic recently. Male suicide is now the leading cause of death for men under 35 in my country. Used to see numbers like that and feel nothing. Now I see Chris's face. Tyler's face. All the men who slipped through the cracks while we were arguing about who had it worse. We're losing them. Quietly. One at a time. Because we told them their pain was privilege. Their struggles were complaining. Their loneliness was self-inflicted. And they believed us. So they stopped asking for help and started ending it instead. Chris was almost one of them. That keeps me up at night, but also drives me to keep pushing for a feminism that includes everyone. That fights the system, not the people trapped in it. One that sees suffering as suffering, regardless of who's experiencing it. Some people say that's not feminism, that I betrayed the cause. Maybe they're right. Or maybe the cause is bigger than we thought. Maybe it's not women versus men. Maybe it's all of us versus a system that tells us we have to be something other than human. And if that makes me a bad feminist, then I'll be a bad feminist, with a best friend who's still alive. And that's a trade I'll make every time. MFW, I almost lost my best friend because my ideology wouldn't let me see his pain. MFW male loneliness is called an epidemic, and we're still debating if it's real. MFW, the same system oppressing women, is killing men, and we're fighting each other instead of it. MFW compassion became a political issue. MFW Chris texted me at 2 a.m. with goodbye disguised as philosophy, and I almost missed it. Still fighting for equality. Just realized equality means everyone gets to hurt and be held. Not just half of us. Revolutionary concept, apparently. But here we are. Chris is alive.